used to think that loving yourself meant lighting a candle, writing "I am enough" in a journal, and repeating mantras in the mirror. But at 3 a.m. in the morning, when you feel like crap, you're laying in bed unable to sleep, and you're replaying every single mistake that you've ever made, and wondering why you're still not happy with yourself, why no matter how much you try, it's never enough, and why affirmations just don't seem to hit. Well, let me show you what I did to become happier. I'm a negative person by nature. I don't like myself naturally at all. I am very insecure by nature. But I'm gonna show you today how I went from secretly hating myself but pretending I did, and constantly needing validation from others, to slowly, and I mean slowly but steadily, becoming someone that I respect and that I actually like. The first thing is this: no one teaches you how to actually love yourself, and most of us don't even realize that we don't love ourselves. We just feel empty. We feel not enough. We feel like we need other people to make us feel better. We chase love, we chase looks, we chase success, we chase something. And here's what the problem is. You might be like I was, obsessed with how others see you, but knowing deep down that you don't see yourself positively. I used to get mad when someone didn't reply fast enough. I would panic if I wasn't told I was pretty enough. Deep down, I believed that I had no value unless someone else gave it to me. That is not love. That is emotional hunger. And that comes from you not seeing the value in yourself and therefore needing to chase it from external sources. But here's the problem with that. External sources, other people, other things will never be 100% foolproof. You're never gonna always get the validation that you want and crave and need from other people, and most likely you're more likely to get it less than you would like. So here's what you need to remember. Yes, you can live your life like this, but in the long run, it's exhausting. You're not gonna feel happy. You're not gonna feel satisfied. You're not even gonna feel fulfilled. So what is the point in living that way? Can't you just find a way to love yourself? Can't you just find a way to affirm yourself? Here's the good news. You can. And that starts with a breaking point. But we're gonna look into that. My breaking point was a fight that I had with someone that I loved. They looked at me and they said, "Why do you always need to be right? Why do you always need to get my affirmation? You don't even trust yourself." And when I heard these words, that kind of hit me like a truck, because it was true. I didn't love myself. I didn't affirm or validate myself ever, because I didn't think I was worthy of it. So I needed to get it from other people. But that's exhausting to other people. That's exhausting to even yourself, because you're always on edge. You're always walking on eggshells and feeling like, I need to please everyone. I need to do more. I need to smile more. I need to act more. But it's not even true, because no matter how much you do, you're never gonna ever meet someone who's always gonna affirm you and not get sick of it at a certain point. I was trying so hard at a certain point in my life to control everything and everyone, because I didn't feel safe inside of me. So the external control was a way of me coping with the fact that I didn't have internal control. But the problem is, when someone's unsure of themselves, they either become a people pleaser, which again, like I said before, is draining to both you and the people you're pleasing, or a perfectionist. And I became both, but more of a people pleaser. Real self-love begins when the performance ends. Real self-love is when you take into accountability that, hang on, I don't need to get the external validation from others all the time, because I am able to internally validate myself. And that starts with you taking a good hard look in the mirror and asking yourself, what exactly about me do I not like? What exactly is inside of me that I wish was different and that I wish I could change? Because there's clearly something that I don't like. There's clearly something that's bothering me, but what is it? What exactly do I not like? And then that is where the self-love and the self-work comes in. Until you've discovered what about your life, what about you do not like, and you start to actively work on changing that, you will never feel like you love yourself, and you will never feel like you're enough. You trying to push away all your problems and hide all your problems to try and make yourself feel better isn't gonna work. You need to start by looking yourself deep in the mirror. Sit in front of the mirror, look at yourself and think, what do I not like about me? Is it my looks? It's probably not even your looks, by the way. That's rarely someone's main problem themselves. Is it the fact that I have no discipline? Is it the fact that I'm not ambitious? Is it the fact that I don't have any goals? Is it the fact that I don't love people the way other people love me? Whatever it is, look at yourself, try to figure it out, and start there. What does loving yourself even really mean, though? Loving yourself is not a feeling, okay? It's a decision. You feeling like you love yourself is never gonna be the case. I never feel like loving myself. And I don't look at loving myself like something that I should even really focus on because I don't wanna become arrogant. I look at loving myself as me protecting the person I was when I was younger and didn't know any better. I look at loving myself as protecting my inner child from being hurt by unnecessary people, by unnecessary circumstances. Because if you do not love yourself, the person you are on the inside will suffer tremendously. When you mess up, when you feel ugly, when you fail, you need to still be able to tell yourself, okay, I am still on my side. This is not a permanent feeling. This is temporary and it will get better. But you need to make that decision for you. Think about yourself being a 5-year-old kid looking at you in the eyes and you telling that kid, you're ugly. How do you think that kid would feel? How do you think that kid would feel if you said to them, you failed because you didn't have any discipline and now you weigh 300 pounds? Think about it. Do it for you. Do it for the little version of you. Do it for the future you. Do you want to let yourself down? Do you want to let the people around you down? No. Then start by looking at yourself and saying, I'm on my side, I'm on your side to yourself, and then work on it. Because a person who is on someone's side takes actions to make that person feel like they're not alone. Here's what I did to start changing things for me. Number one is I started keeping promises to myself, which means when I said to myself I was gonna get up at 5:30 to go run, I got up at 5:30 to go run. Why? Because discipline helps me gain confidence in myself. If I said I would walk for 10 minutes every day, I walked for 10 minutes every day. That builds trust in yourself because then you know at some point when something goes wrong, you'll be able to tell yourself, I've done harder things than this before. I've been able to get through tough times by promising that to myself before. I can do it again. Number two is I got honest about my insecurities. I started realizing I didn't like the way I looked sometimes. I didn't like the way I spoke sometimes. I didn't like the way my brain felt messy and felt disorganized. I didn't like feeling different to others and not fitting in with other people. I wrote them down. I exposed them. I stopped letting them control me in the dark and I started realizing where my weaknesses actually benefit me and where my weaknesses I can turn into strengths. You don't have to be someone who fits in with the world and the crowd. You don't have to be someone who is the most intelligent genius on the planet. You just need to be you and figure out how to use your weaknesses as strengths. Number three, I cut out the noise. I muted people who made me feel uncomfortable. Even now on social media, I have a huge Instagram page and I get tons of comments from people insulting me, saying that I am doing things for attention, saying that I'm going on the wrong path, whatever they might be saying. And I've decided to ignore it. I've decided to stop checking the comments because it makes me angry to see those comments. It makes me feel insecure. It makes me feel attacked. And I've needed to understand that me putting myself in a situation where I'm exposing myself to that is not helping me at all. Avoid the temptation. Don't let yourself get into the temptation and then have to avoid it. Avoid it as soon as it comes out. Don't even get into it. Stop letting people control what you think of yourself and stop letting people control how you feel. Number four, I forgave myself out loud. I would literally say, you did your best, you were young, you didn't understand, you'll do better now because now you know better. It sounds cringe, but it works, okay? And sometimes you just gotta do that for yourself. Usually when we do something wrong, it's because that's the best we knew. We didn't know any better. So you've learned, you've moved on, and you won't do it again. You wanna know why it's worth it? Because when you love yourself, people can't manipulate you as easily either. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't. You don't settle for people who don't treat you well. You walk away from people who drain you, not because you're cold, but because you know you're not a trash can. And that is why loving yourself is so freaking important. Because you will understand, I am not a trash can, I don't deserve this. And yeah, I still have bad days. I still get insecure. I still hate myself sometimes. But you know what the difference is? I don't abandon myself anymore. I don't sit with that feeling permanently. I don't shame the emotional version of me. I take her by the hand and I keep walking. Because walking with yourself, even if it's by yourself, is very important in order to actually get forwards in life. Because that's what love is. Love is not butterflies. Love is not perfection. Love is staying true to yourself and true to the people you love, even when it's hard. And that's exactly what you gotta do with loving yourself. If you've been looking for someone to love you the way you need, you might have been looking the wrong direction, okay? You need to start with you. Start by loving yourself and start understanding, I am not broken. I am just not finished yet. I'm just not ready yet. You're like a pot being made and that hasn't been completed. And that's fine. You're an uncompleted pot. Start there, finish the pot, start loving yourself, and then no one's gonna be able to break the pot or to use the pot or to do whatever they want with the pot, because the pot will be complete and the pot will be strong. Make sure you subscribe if you're on the same journey too. Tell me in the comments if you're struggling with loving yourself, and I would love to get in touch with you. Also check out my Instagram and my Ko-fi, and I can't wait to see you soon for another video. Mwah.